Thanks to Colonial Brewing Co. for sponsoring the pod today.
Thank you, Colonial.
For those of you who may not know,
It's pros and cons time! Mr. Smith?
hey, who's that?
David Zacka Parker Ruckus.
Wrong.
How the bloody hell do you say that? Pros and cons.
What is going on, everybody?
What's going on, Daniel? How are you?
Back again, mate.
Back again, episode 2 for the day, shooting.
The lockdown
Filming,
episodes. Recording, filming them all. Speaking of filming, by the way.
Yes.
We're hopefully by the time this podcast is out, we're going to have a bunch of the episodes on YouTube. I've been saying it probably for almost every week, but we've almost got them all done. So,
Yes.
And they're going to be dropping all the time now. So people who want to actually watch the podcast or consume it a different way, we're going to have it on YouTube. We're going to have our YouTube channel rolling, and they can watch
Better
it
have
that
good
way.
posture, just like you at the moment, mate. You got splendid posture.
I know. We just yeah, you've just set me up on the couch. I can't lean. Anyway, people will find out because we just recorded an episode with Carlo, the movie geek.
Yes.
As you know, we're going to another movie episode 2, and David gave me some pillows to prop my back up on because I've got a plug that I can't lean back like you. You look so casual and chilled.
Yeah, it's great at home.
Like me
it's
on
the home pod.
The Doug Ellen podcast where I'm all upright and look like there's something up my ass. But
Yes,
anyway, that's
exactly.
all right. Well, I'm just looking down actually, and we've weighted this table down with those barbells. You know, with those weights. You know how much they'd be worth these days?
Yeah, they would be worth a lot.
Fortune. And I just went downstairs, and your gym. I'm telling you one thing: if you could sell that for a fortune.
We can do a pod from the home gym next time, right? Yeah.
In between reps.
In between reps, yeah.
I'm fine with that. I need a good workout. I've got a couple of 4 kilo dumbbells at home and a exercise bike. That's all I got. So
I got looked after by
jealous.
the club. Yeah, having the weights there.
Good down there. I got some inside info that apparently yours is ranked on another podcast. Your home gym is ranked number 1 out of all the players.
Did I? Who dropped that on what podcast?
No, another podcast.
Oh, really?
AFL podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, dropped at mine.
Your home gym is the best home gym. out of all the AFLs.
But I haven't gone through a whole rundown of it.
Well, I guess whatever you showed on
Whatever the
Instagram is
photo,
enough.
Yeah, okay.
Or there's someone's leaked it, maybe.
Yeah,
Who
all
knows?
right. Yeah,
I tell you
okay.
what, they've ranked yours
I took
number
one
1.
photo, but I didn't
I
really
agree.
Yeah,
I think yours is the best. I
The
haven't
what
seen many
bike's the
people.
one. The what bike's the key. You need to have a.
Oh, I think you got barbells and you got a bench. You got kettle. You got everything down there.
I'll tell you what though, I went hard sourcing it. So I didn't have it all at the start. I think if you look back at the original first photo, I think I had the ropes and a couple of dumbbells. And then every day I kind of kept trying to push people and source people for different equipment. And then eventually, I hustled.
Mate,
hustled and then kept going.
Is the gym sponsored?
No, it's not sponsored. No. I got it just off different people. That kind of thing. Yeah. No, definitely not. There's nothing. There's nothing free. No business is giving anything free at the moment. There's no. I literally just hustled people, and people had some spare equipment and all that, and kind of just got it from different sources, and now it's a complete gym setup.
Well, I'm jealous, but it is your job to keep fit.
Tell you what, my housemate loves it. He loves lifting weights. I don't know. No one here would I assume no one here would follow him, but. If you followed my housemate, you'd see some topless workouts every couple of days.
Well,
he loves it.
I'm thinking about moving in. I'll just live on the couch and be your next housemate.
There you go, mate.
I'll pay you some rent just to use the.
There you go.
Use the gym.
There you go. Now today, let's enough chit chat about us. Now today, what's the purpose of today's podcast?
Well, I thought that we had Doug Ellen on last week talking about the entourage, obviously.
Yep.
And we went through a binge or cringe list with him. So I thought, why not, while everyone's in lockdown, let's chat through some movies and some TV shows that are happening, and we better bring on our resident film expert, Carlo, to do so, because he knows what's up. He's seen most of the stuff that's coming out, and he's got some lists for us, so keep us going. Make sure you're not watching shit.
He's done some serious watching.
He's a big watcher.
He's a big watcher of just some shows and series. That's amazing. What do you say? One
movie a day, I think.
One movie a day.
Yeah, I think he said that, didn't he?
No, we're giving it away because this is the pre-intro.
No, but I just said that we just talked to him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all right. You can tell the fans.
Yeah, you can tell the fans.
We've already spoken to him when we're doing our intro.
Yeah, we're doing our intro. All
right.
All right. Well, one movie a day, and then I don't know how many TV series he's watching, but
the goal is
serious TV time.
You just don't want to waste your time watching something shit.
No.
So we want to make sure you're picking good stuff. So
a question I need to ask him next time is he? I didn't ask him today. But has he ruined, can he just watch something and just plainly watch it? Or does he have to critique it? Because when he's describing, as listeners will hear in a bit, when he's describing the shows or the movies and stuff and the words he uses to describe it, it just, in detail, it proves that he's watching what's actually happening rather than the film or the movie. And
it's like, interesting.
Has he ruined his perspective of just sitting back and plainly watching a movie?
Well, I studied film and television, made films, did a bunch of stuff in that space, and still today I will watch films differently, TV shows as well. And the only way I know something is really, really good is if I forget to do it.
Yes.
So if I've gone, oh shit, like, well, how have they lit that? Or like, wow, or if I'm noticing things too much, then it annoys me a bit.
Yeah.
And it tells me that I'm not engaged enough with it, which probably means it's not that good. So I still do it. So I guarantee he does it that way too.
Yeah. Well, I was comparing it to footy. So it's like, if I watch a game, I kind of would watch it like a study kind of thing. Like you look at stoppages or the forward setup or the way they're moving the ball and you go, like they could be doing this or that kind of thing. Whereas you're not then getting lost in it where you're just enjoying a big game. But in saying that, like you said, then if it's a cracking game between first and second, you might get lost in it and enjoy the game.
Yeah.
But if it's an average game on a Saturday, you kind of critique it rather than just being able to enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that's what always happens to me. I've lost it a little bit because I don't do that much stuff in that space anymore. So I've lost it a little bit and I'm able to get out of that headspace a bit. But every now and then you watch something and I'll be in that space going, I know exactly what they've done here.
Yes.
I know exactly what's going on here and it's annoying me that I know.
Yes.
So Carlo would be all over that. He'd be watching for everything.
Yeah.
So I do wonder how, I'll ask him that next time, how he can actually enjoy things. But he does, he loves it. So he's going to give some good.
Well, he clearly loves it, yeah. But
before we get into his chat, we haven't touched base. We didn't get to touch base last week because Doug Allen's episode was awesome on its own. The talk right now with the footy is that they're going to isolate you guys and, maybe do games in rural areas and that's how they're going to get the season up. What's your take on it?
Well, I mean, the interesting thing that is with the podcast, so it's the 15th of April now, and by the time this drops, it's going to be the 27th, which is April 27th is the day that the AFL are meeting to then have a discussion about what their plans are moving forward. So it's kind of this chat now, whatever I say, is kind of going to be a little bit irrelevant because we'll find out more when this podcast drops. So I don't want to go too much into the detail because what I say might just be not true, and that's the day that it's dropped is kind of irrelevant. So what I'm hearing at the moment, so as of the 15th of April, was the chat amongst like the different areas around Australia you could play. That's more the media is speculating what could happen if we went down that path. And what hasn't been officially said to AFL clubs about this is what we're going to do or this is what we're proposing. I think it's more the media at the moment is speculating what could possibly happen if the AFL wanted to get the season up and running at a certain point and get the season going. So I think that's more been the talk. Obviously, as I said, once this drops today, the 27th, we'll find out more about it. Because originally it was, all right, AFL meet April 27th with the potential return date of May 4th and then May 31st is when you play. So at the moment from now, the state of emergency in Victoria has just been put to the May 11th. So we wouldn't be able to train anyway, May 4th, because you obviously wouldn't be able to congregate in groups of 50.
Yep.
That's what we have to do to train. So we're at least restricted probably till May 11th right now. And then it's probably going to be a couple more weeks if they slowly reduce the restrictions. So we're probably looking, again, I don't want to set anything in stone or have anyone quote me on this, but it's probably looking more the end of May rather than sort of the middle to start of May to even think about coming back to train, which will then push back the season another month because we'll have to train for 3 to 4 weeks before we play. So if you're looking at end of May, then it's probably end of June. But again, once this podcast drops on the 27th, with new things we know, and the AFL having the meeting on the 27th. So we'll know hopefully then either that night or the next day about what we're actually doing.
If they did go down that path, which is, take you somewhere, you have to live somewhere else, train and play, no crowds, different random areas. If that was the way to go, what is your take?
So I mean, it's a massive complex issue, and I think you got to wait. Like, there's so many things to be decided, like the time, how long you're going to be there for, whether it's just 2 weeks to get the season started, and then all of a sudden restrictions lifted, restrictions ease, and then it's come back to Melbourne and play, or whether it's a month, 2 months. So the time frame, whether we're all staying in a hotel together or resort, or it's like each club has their own different resort or hotel, or even just details of like, is it going to be 1 to a room, 2 to a room, the amount of time you're going to have in between games, how much staff can you take up there, can your family come up, all these different factors. So it's a massive, massive complex issue, which then could create different issues amongst themselves if like certain things aren't resolved or that kind of thing. So for instance, if restrictions start getting, one thing for me, and this might not even be an issue if it's resolved in a certain way, but if restrictions start getting eased and you haven't seen your family for a couple of months, and then we have to then go away for a month to play, whereas you're back in Melbourne, you can now go visit your family and have dinner and have like your mum and dad can see your Brooklyn and can hang out with them. Whereas if we get taken away from that while all our friends and family are starting to hang out again, starting to see family, starting to see kids, nieces and nephews, all that kind of thing for that month, like that's a massive mental challenge to go, shit, everyone, like, yeah, all right, we're playing footy and we're doing what we love, but we've been isolated for 3 months. Now we're moving away from our family. We're seeing on social media, everyone's now hanging out with people, I don't know, having beers and catching up with family and that. And all of a sudden we're away from that for another month. Like that'd be a pretty big challenge to face.
Yep.
Again, that might not happen. I'm just sort of speculating and so I'm kind of talking scenarios here, but that would be one for me. I don't know if I'd be able to handle that going, shit, like I've waited this long to see my family. Everyone else is doing it and now I'm away again. Got to cop it. The other thing is, I know going on footy camps in pre-season, mate, blokes start to crack after 3-4 days, like going on a camp, because you're in an environment where you're training every day. You can't leave. You haven't got your mental break because you go back to hotel room or you're in a resort. Like you're still hanging around the 45 blokes. Like you're still in the footy environment. So you switched on all the time. So guys going back, like, so you might play and then have 3 days in between games or 4 days or 5 days, whatever in between games. Like, what do you do to fill your time? So you got to train for a certain time. You're going to have your weights, you're going to have meetings. The other time of it, what are you going to do? So it's kind of not being able to have that escape from leaving a resort or leaving whatever, just to be able to hang out with friends or family or all that kind of thing. As I said, guys crack on 3 or 4 days of preseason camps anyway. So it'd be interesting again to see how long, whether it's 2 weeks, 4 weeks, all this kind of stuff. I mean, the positive of it is that for the fans, we might be playing footy. For us, we'll be playing footy, doing what we love. The season will be started. We have a full competition for people to watch around Australia, all that kind of thing. So there's a lot of benefits from it, but I just think there'll be a lot of also mental challenges with that too. But it's an unprecedented time, so I think we've got to be open to everything. And I'm not necessarily shutting it down. I am open to it, but I think it's just you got to weigh up all these things and just the mental impact it'll have.
It's probably just a lot to still happen.
Exactly.
No one knows. So it's just too hard probably to do it. I mean, look at the UFC. We might talk about the UFC in a future eps. Maybe they're doing more things once we get some future eps up, but they're building the infrastructure for an island where they can take the fighters to the fighter island.
Yeah, well, he bought the island, didn't he?
Yeah, he's bought an island and he's already building the infrastructure to make it happen.
Exactly.
So like they're going hard. They're going to do it. That's the way it works.
Yeah. And everything I'm saying right now might be irrelevant when this podcast drops today and the AFL make a decision. They go, oh no, we'll just push it back and we'll play in all our states once the restrictions are lifted. So this all could be irrelevant anyway. But I think the most important thing is that it's safe. The health and well-being of the players are on the number one on the agenda. And if the restrictions are eased, then why not? Let's play. But obviously until that point, then we can't play.
Yep. Fair enough, mate. Well, can't wait for footy to come back. It's going to be awesome when it does. Imagine the first game back at the G when people can go. I don't know when that's going to be.
Well, yeah, and that's the other interesting. The first game back might be no crowds again for maybe 6, 7, 8 weeks or whatever. And then finally in, I don't know, if we're playing in September, they allow, I don't know how many, 10,000, who knows? They might have a cap.
They might have a cap.
Yeah,
You're
so
right.
it might be different.
Well, we'll take what we can get at what point we can take it.
Yes, exactly.
And we'll see what happens from there. For now, we're stuck at home. So we're going to figure out what the bloody hell to watch on TV.
Yes, let's get stuck into Carlo.
So let's hear from Carlo.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you record it.
Got to record the video on the screen, otherwise we won't get any of the audio out of it or video. Carlo.
Oh, shit. How are you guys going? It's nice to see that you're maintaining social distance and not facing each other.
Yeah.
That's about 1.3 meters, I reckon.
I know.
Yeah, why not?
This couch is big enough, but the screen's not big enough to keep us in.
Is that why you got that really fucking awkward lean going on?
Oh, I've got the awkward lean actually. I had the awkward lean for the whole fucking last.
Mate,
last
you should
podcast.
be relaxed. We're on the couch.
Because
if I lean back.
Zach has got it right, man. Zach has got it right. He's just like, he's got his feet up.
I was like constantly changing on the thing too.
We had Doug Ellen. I told you already, Carlo. We had Doug Ellen on the last episode, which for those who don't know, we record these things sometimes on the same day. So those people will listen to Doug Ellen's and then we'll listen to Carlo's. That happened all on the same day. But we just had Doug on and I had to sit like this the whole time because my headphone cord isn't long enough to lean back. He's looking like all the chilled boy.
Do you not have these?
Yeah, I do have those. I should probably put them on.
Yeah.
All right, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to put them on because I feel left out now. Hang on.
Come on, mate.
Did Daniel feel like did he have to like really fight back the need to quote Entourage at all?
Yeah, he went fangirl hard on Doug.
Did you fangirl at Doug?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And did he take it graciously or was he just like, oh, fucking hell?
No, well, the main thing with me for Doug is the oh, thanks, mate. You know what? I get looked after here. How good's that? I got the pillows behind me. David, yeah, that's good. That's good. Oh no, that is better. Yeah, thank you. David just gave me some pillows. Nice. Oh, that feels so much better. Now I can relax a little bit. I still look like I'm got something up the arse. But yes, right. I fangirled a little bit, but I didn't go too hard. I know a lot about Entourage. I've watched so much Entourage in my life.
Yeah, you strike me as an Entourage fan.
I've watched every season. This is not even an exaggeration. Probably 5 times minimum, including the most recent season. I've seen it so often. It's so easy to watch. But so I knew a lot about it. But
do you ever do like an Ari Gold cut where you just watch all of Ari Gold's scenes to like get you pumped for the day?
I haven't done that, but I do. That is a good idea. I do watch. If I'm feeling a bit shit or like, I need some inspo to like get me up and about, I'll watch an episode. I'll watch. I don't know. You know what's a really good episode if you want to get real fired up? That Vegas Baby Vegas episode where Johnny Drama comes in and punches those guys. Who's in it? Seth.
Sorry, I just got to text you. I just got to text you.
We're in the middle of the podcast.
I forgot to write back quickly. Sorry. It was about a press conference. Sorry, mate.
Don't worry about me, mate. Don't worry about Carlo and I.
We're just sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sure
you're capable enough to talk to Carlo for 2 seconds.
I can talk to him. I can remember the guy who's in it. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Sorry.
I do enjoy it, and I did fangirl a little bit, but not too hard. How's lockdown treating you? Getting to watch a bunch of movies.
Oh yeah, I watch like a movie a day, which is fucking intense. Like even for me, like there's only so much I can handle. But like it's been cool because I've been able to like go back and like rewatch some stuff that I might have forgotten about and sort of like discover things that I have never had this sort of chance to watch up until about now. So like Parasite is now on Stan, so I'm like, yes, I can go back and rewatch it without having to like, drive over to the fucking Nova Cinema, which is shut down for the moment. Fuck's sake. But no, it's been all right. Like, you find ways to occupy yourself. So
people are going to be sitting around. There's so much options.
So
Netflix,
many
so many options. It's only podcast too. I can't speak English. There's so many options out there with streaming services, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Netflix, Stan, all these things that who better to bring in for our movie episode number 2 than our resident movie expert, Carlo. So what we want to do,
we got to do our intro.
Nothing else fucking better to do.
We got to create an intro for you, I reckon.
We do need to create an intro for it. Yeah, you want me to do that? Do you want to do some work?
Yeah.
No, I've got some time. I'll do the intro.
One man.
Yeah. Carlo.
Who the is that?
Resident film critic.
Something is coming. Something big.
Our resident film expert, Carlo.
Coming soon to a cinema near you.
So, Carlo, where are we at with everything? Because there's been a whole bunch of movies that clearly now are not going to go ahead. And in the States, summertime releases are the biggest in a lot of times for the year.
Yep.
That's when some of the big stuff comes out in July. So, talk us through it, mate. What's stopped? What's been delayed? What's been pushed? What's happening?
So it's been interesting to watch because like it's fun to watch some studios sort of hold their nerve and then others who are just like, nah, fuck that. Let's just like move this down the line because it's a lot cheaper to shift. None of this is cheap. Let me just start by saying that. None of this is cheap, but you have cheaper options than you would have, say, like, actually keeping a release date for a film. So for example, Sony has decided to completely like fuck off their entire slate to 2021. So that includes the next Ghostbusters, Afterlife, and a few other films. So they were like, how about we don't do that? Because everything is sort of still up in the air with the sort of coronavirus stuff. There's talks of the AMC theater chain going bankrupt. There's talks of like, it's sort of like very sort of doom and gloom at the moment in terms of like the film industry as a whole, but like cinemaplexes in particular are sort of like really feeling that pinch, and they're asking for government bailouts and what have you. So this month we were supposed to see the new James Bond. That didn't happen, obviously. That got pushed down to November. We were supposed to see the new Milan in April again this month, but that's been pushed down to July, and that might get another push. Depending on whether or not the curve flattens and all that sort of stuff.
So that's the live action. Sorry to interrupt you. That's the live action.
Yeah, that's the live action. Yeah, correct.
Disney cartoon Milan.
Yeah, exactly.
Trailer looks pretty cool, actually.
It's actually it's got a really cool like wushu, old school like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon vibe to it, and I'm sort of like I'm keen to see what they do with it. What's
Black Widow?
Black Widow's been moved from May to November. And what's interesting about that is the fact that all of Marvel stuff's been pushed down.
Yeah.
So like it's Black Widow's been moved to November, which was supposed to be like the Eternals, which has now been moved to February. Shang-Chi was supposed to be in February. That's been moved to May. And then they've got the new Doctor Strange, which has been moved to November, which is supposed to be May of 2021. And the fourth Thor film has been moved to 2022 altogether. It hasn't changed any of the 2022 release slates as of yet, but that might change. Who knows? It's so completely.
We could all of a sudden get, like you're saying, they keep pushing it back. It'd be gross if they just went, all right, for each every couple of months we're going to just release a movie. All of a sudden you have 6 Marvel movies in 1 year. But
maybe not. Marvel seem like they need. I'm assuming here, but it seems like they require that 3-month window of pushing hard for advertising.
Yeah.
So they're going to try to remain.
It's kind of always, isn't it? It's always like February, May, November, kind of every year.
Yeah.
But, Carlo,
well, they did there. Yeah.
With what Dave's saying, do you think we're going to get, whenever we get released from this lockdown and we're able to go to the movies again, who knows when that's going to be? Do you predict that we're going to get that
flurry
of movies that just get released to screen where we're going to have just this abundance of really good things to go see?
I think so. I think you're going to find that it's going to be like every month there'll be something to watch. What's interesting though is to watch Disney's strategy. Disney's strategy is they'll either push a date or they now have that advantage of dropping a film straight onto Disney Plus. Yeah. And they've done that with their and it's kind of ballsy to see because they've done that with their latest Pixar film, and Pixar usually brings in like a shit ton of money on the weekends. And they've done that with their latest one Onwards, where they've just dropped it straight onto Disney Plus. Or is it Disney Plus? It's available for streaming like right now.
Yep.
And they're going to be doing the same thing with the Kenneth Branagh film Artemis Fowl. And that was supposed to have a complete release schedule, and they've just scrapped it and they've just gone, nah, fuck it, we're just going to put it out onto streaming. Which is like a really that's a movie with like Judi Dench and Colin Farrell and a whole bunch of other it's a big film, like big budget film, and they're just like, nah, let's just chuck it out on streaming, and because we don't know how long this whole thing's going.
Well, would for Pixar just be because of kids have been at home and you're hoping
pretty much.
But you're talking those Pixar films that gross 500 million minimum.
Yeah,
like maybe not, but like a lot of money. We're talking that they gross at the cinemas. So you're scrapping.
Yeah, true, But you have to take into account Disney Plus has just reached 50 million plus subscribers as well.
Yes.
Now that's $7 a month or something. You take that 7 times.
I think so. It was $8.
$8.99, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it? Is it always $8.99? Because I thought it was $8.50 and now it's $8.99.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, they've sneakily already gone up with the price.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
Yeah.
Not fact check it, and this is the podcast, so why would I do that?
Yeah.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought I saw a 50% price increase already, and it's only new. So I guess you're right. Those people are going, well, we won't go to the movies to watch it. It's only $9 a month to jump and stream it. So we'll just pay for that instead. So they're getting their 50 million people watching it there instead.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly. They've got
yeah.
Exactly, movies and TV series and The Mandalorian and all the Star Wars films and all that sort of stuff. So it's like, for $9 a month, I think people are just going to find that to be a bit of a bargain. So
Not sponsored, by the way.
not
Disappointing.
sponsored at all.
I know Dave pointed to himself. He pointed to himself.
When you said $8.99, I was like, I don't even know the price
Because you get it for free. But no one else does. Carlo doesn't get it for free. Daniel doesn't get it for free. Daniel's household doesn't get it for
bullshit.
free.
No, I got 12 months free.
The pros and the cons.
Come September.
The pros and the cons. The family. The
Hang on.
Do we have a promo code?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Daniel, have you gone to a free Marvel premiere?
Yeah, I have. Actually.
There you go. So he's jumped off the coat.
Love you, Disney. Love you, Disney.
Yeah.
Those are hard to get into, man. The critics don't get a lot. Like all the critics, like some of the critics don't even get invites to that. So like they're the places to be.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, maybe I should just tone it back a little bit.
Melbourne,
You know what?
some good ones.
That was the new IMAX in.
You had Endgame.
Endgame.
Endgame, mate. Oh, mate.
Yeah, we had part 1 and part 2. One of them was at Hoyts in Docklands. The other one was at
Hoyts in Docklands,
and the other one was at IMAX. Yeah. IMAX is actually hard to watch it at.
Yeah,
because the screen.
If you don't get in early, you have to get to the back. Yeah.
Oh, you're constantly turning your head.
watching tennis.
It's actually too big. Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
So, Carlo, is there any of the studios planning to do any online releases where you pay a similar cost you would to go to the cinemas to watch it?
No, not that I've heard. I know that there's been rumblings about like whether or not they were going to do something like that, but not officially. Blumhouse, who do a lot of the horror stuff, so when the coronavirus hit and a lot of the social distancing measures started to come in, what they did was they started to release a lot of the theatrical films directly onto streaming platforms. So back in February, Leigh Whannell's film The Invisible Man was released in cinema, and that hit just at the starting of the coronavirus. But Blumhouse were like, well, let's just put it out for hire on streaming. The trick is though that the hiring the rental price is $25 to rent it,
like iTunes or something, like Apple Movies or something.
YouTube or Apple, iTunes or like PlayStation Store, wherever you rent your films. And then they've released The Hunt, which was like another film that actually got delayed because of controversy surrounding mass shootings, and that's been put out on streaming platforms for $20. So it'd be interesting to see. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how much money they actually get out of it.
Let's talk about The Invisible Man, because Leigh Whannell he's a Melbourne boy, isn't he?
Yeah, okay.
RMIT.
Yeah, he did go to RMIT.
And he was the creator of Saw and directed.
Oh, the one. Yeah, okay, yep.
So this movie looks so creepy. I watched a trailer for it, and I'm not a huge sort of horror fan. I do love some movies like that, like Saw, the originals, and I like some of these thrillers. This looks like a thriller, and it looks creepy as shit.
Yeah.
Tell us about
it. It's a kind of a riff on the old H.G. Wells book that was put out back years and years and years ago. And what Whannell's done is he's taken it and he's turned it into a story about domestic abuse and domestic violence. Yep. And so it follows Elizabeth Moss, and she's trying to escape her abusive partner. She manages to do so in a very, very sort of tense scene early on, like holding my breath tense. And 2 weeks later, she finds out that he has allegedly killed himself, and he's left her a ton of money.
Cecilia, although our relationship was far from perfect, I thought that you would talk to me rather than run away.
Are you okay? What happened to him?
He cut his wrist. Per his final wishes, you're getting $5 million. Contingent, of course, on the fine print. He can't be ruled to be mentally incompetent.
It just doesn't make any sense.
What?
Adrian wouldn't kill himself.
Listen, you're getting your freedom back, okay? Don't let him haunt you.
Hello?
And that's when sort of like the weird shit starts happening. And what's really, really cool about this film is that it plays on themes of like So we think of domestic abuse as like physical violence a lot of the time. And what this actually does is it goes, well, no, it's not that. It's also a psychological abuse. So like it plays on the ideas of gaslighting, which is like attempting to make someone insane by telling them things that aren't actually happening.
Tell me if I'm wrong, because I've only seen the trailer.
Yeah.
But he obviously figures out how to turn himself invisible, fakes his own
Yeah.
thing.
So he's a...
Yeah, I
he's
remember the trailer now that once we've...
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a so it's not in the trailer, but like he's supposed to be this like optical tech genius.
Yeah, okay.
And it does this thing where it's like it makes you afraid of like empty spaces in the film. So like the camera will do this thing where it'll be like it'll just pan over to like a corner in the wall or something like that, and it will hold it there like really, really long, and nothing happens, but because your brain is sort of filling in the gaps, you don't know whether or not he's there or whether or not nobody could be there. So like you're sort of just sort of like the hairs on the back of your neck are starting to stand up, and you're like holding your breath and you're tense this entire time. And when I went to see it, the woman next to me, the critic next to me, she was like at the very end of the film, when the film ends, she just went, and let out this massive sigh, because she was like holding like everything in this entire time. And that's what the film does. It's so great about it. It's like it makes you scared of things that aren't there, and it forces you to fill in the gaps. And so, and he doesn't have to do a whole lot. It's a very intelligent film, and it doesn't do this whole thing of like the jump scares and all that sort of shit. It just it plays on your mind being able to fill in the gaps and being able to sort of like make up for what's not there. You know, like at one point she just stares at an empty chair, and you're like, this is fucking creepy.
What are you rating it, Carlo?
Oh, mate, I'd give it about a 9 out of 10, I reckon.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Awesome.
Yeah.
Off to a
I
fly.
reckon, yeah.
All right, so that one's available to stream. You
So
can
that is
buy it
available.
$20.
That one's available. Yeah.
Not 20 bucks.
$20. A little bit steep, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
well,
do it.
Do it?
Do it, I reckon.
All right, do it. Done.
Give it a
Maybe.
go.
It's not a Disney movie. We can't ask for any favors.
I was about to say, I'm paying for 3 streaming services here, but then I was like, no.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
What
All
else?
right, I'll watch that.
So, before the lockdown, Birds of Prey had come out.
Yeah.
which was
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie. So Birds of Prey follows on from Suicide Squad, as directed by Kathy Yan. This is a second film. She did a Chinese language film called Dead Pigs previously. And it's basically, it's a breakup film, but also a team up film, which is really interesting.
You know what a harlequin is? A harlequin's role is to serve. It's nothing without a master. And no one gives 2 shits who we are beyond that. The Joker and I broke up. I wanted a fresh start. But it turns out I wasn't the only dame in Gotham looking for emancipation.
Spectacular news! Miss Quinn, she belongs to me.
Oh, you're that psycho chick. I never call a woman a chick. I'll accept broad, lady, woman, and on occasion, bitch. Bitch? What are you talking about? That for me, will you?
It kind of, if you look at it and you squint, it kind of looks like Deadpool a little bit. It kind of has that vibe. And it's got this sort of very kind of like glossy, it's very sort of like a sickly sweet film, amazing action. And it basically follows Harley Quinn as she gets dumped by the Joker. But because she's been acting like a brat while she's been with the Joker, now everyone wants to kill her because she's been such a fucking pain in the ass in Gotham. It's a fucking wild film. And what's really interesting too is that like, I saw it twice in the cinemas before the lockdown. And I took 2 female friends with me both times. And each time it had that same kind of vibe. When dude goes sees a Rocky film, he comes out wanting to take swings and like, you know, really pumped. This does the same thing. Like women come out just absolutely fucking amped. And I've heard a lot of like a lot of my female friends that they have the exact same reaction to it. They all come out just wanting to fight people.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, sweet, okay, cool, yeah. So it's a dope film. It's got dope soundtrack. You can actually just skip Suicide Squad altogether and just go straight to this film.
It's not for everyone,
but
Suicide Squad had some really great actors, characters.
Yeah.
Storyline let it down. I'm hoping
Haven't
they made
seen
it
it,
up.
yeah.
You haven't seen it?
No, I didn't watch Suicide Squad. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're not missing out on much. Like Suicide Squad was a very sort of choppily put together film. There was a whole lot of like behind the scenes shit going on that like, that kind of like affected that, then affected Batman v Superman and a whole bunch of other films.
Yeah.
Here they're sort of just like they've let the director kind of like do her thing. And also the action was actually second directed by Chad Stahelski, who directed the 3 John Wick films.
Oh, yeah.
So it's got like the action of like a John Wick movie with a kind of like Deadpool vibe to it. It's really dope. I highly recommend it. Not everyone likes it. Like some people, it's kind of got like one of those things where it's like you either really really love it or you just like I'm just not into this, So either you kind of give yourself to it or it's just like it's not your thing. But so far, just be careful who you show it to because like women will fight you afterwards.
What are you rating it?
I'm rating it another 9. I dug the shit out of this film. Yeah.
Where can we watch that, mate?
It's not coming out.
No. You can buy it online.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So is that another $25 one?
That's a 20. I believe it's $25.
Expensive.
But you own this one. You own this one. Yeah.
Rewatch.
Yeah.
Don't do many rewatches these days. It's too much on.
Yeah.
Where are you going to store that?
You own this one.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not like a DVD anymore, is it?
Nope.
Nah. Just download. Just straight down.
You know what? We know what movie always makes me want to start boxing? The Fighter with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Spoken about Marky Mark.
Dude, I watched that the other night. Yeah, that's a great film.
Really good movie, huh? Every time when he's coming back from that broken hand, he's running down the street. That Strip My Mind by Red Hot Chili Peppers come on, makes me want to get out there and have a run. I don't.
You don't? It makes you want to.
Shadow box.
But you don't necessarily actually do it. Yeah.
Just throwing punches on the couch.
Motivate you.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Poor man.
It's a dope film.
Mickey Ward, one of the greats.
Mickey Ward, yeah. Yeah. Was it Pride of Lol?
Yes.
That's the one. Yeah. Dope film. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, you got to watch Mickey Ward. Some of Mickey Ward's fights are the best. You go back they'll be on YouTube.
Yep.
Go back and watch. Some of Mickey Ward's fights are some of the biggest wars you'll ever watch. The Freak Show. What else you got, Carlo? What movies do we need to see while we're in lockdown?
Well, not movies necessarily. I'm going to give a list of things that people need to watch on Netflix. So the first one is, I'm not going to suggest Tiger King because like fucking everyone's watching that.
Everyone's already watched that. Yeah, Tiger.
Everyone's watched that. We're all laughing at the freak shows. So if you haven't watched The Witcher, what the fuck are you doing? You need to get on that.
Okay.
The trick to The Witcher is to know that there's a bunch of time jumps in it. So like a lot of the characters don't age like normal humans. So they do this thing where they jump back and forth. But aside from that, great show. It fills in like a kind of Game of Thrones vibes that everyone's been after since the show ended.
Okay.
Another one.
Superman.
Yeah. Henry Cavill, just absolute fucking boulder shoulders, man. Just insane.
Huge he's massive.
Huge unit. Just absolute massive unit. Unorthodox is a new one that's just come out. It's about a woman who escapes an ultra Hasidic Orthodox Jewish arranged marriage, and she flies off to Berlin to just basically live her life. That's a 4-part miniseries, and that's actually really, really cool. I think that's kind of like taken a lot of people by surprise. So that one's a good one to get on top of. Mindhunters. If you haven't seen Mindhunters, again, I don't know what you're doing. Like seriously, Mindhunters is one of those absolute great shows that you need to get onto. It's like a murder mystery podcast. And one of the great things about it is that it has like a whole bunch of like interviews with serial killers from the past. But it never ever shows dead bodies at all. So it's like it sort of makes your mind sort of fill in the gaps. So it was created by David Fincher, who did Seven and Girl with Dragon Tattoo. Yeah. So like absolute like the titan behind this one. Get on that. Daredevil. I'm reminding.
So
no. It's a series. It's a 2-season series. We don't know if there's going to be a 3rd season coming back because because Fincher went off to direct his next film, and he takes forever to direct his films. So they don't know whether or not there's going to be a 3rd season. But the first 2 seasons are absolutely like you'll be gripped the entire time, and it's like it's creepy without being scary, which is kind of a cool thing. The next one is, I'm reminding people that this show exists. It's called Daredevil. It's got 3 seasons. It ended back in 2018, but I want to make sure that people are still like reminded that it exists because it's a dope fucking show. Like it's one of those.
So Daredevil was the blind dude.
The blind lawyer. The Marvel blind lawyer.
Yeah.
Terrible movie with...
Terrible movie.
Yeah.
Terrible movie, but good series, is it?
His wife was in it with him, wasn't she?
Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, okay.
Ex-wife. Colin Farrell was in that playing Bullseye.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Like
That's right.
Irish bald.
So what, terrible movie.
Terrible movie. It
but
was like
great
it was like, you know, when comic book movies were shit.
Yes.
Like before this whole comic book thing. Like the only good ones were like, I don't know, maybe Batman.
Spider-Man by that point, yeah.
Yeah, it was popular.
Yeah, okay.
But they kind of flopped with a bunch of those.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a flop. Don't watch the
Original
movie.
Hulk
But
flop.
don't watch the movie, but the TV series is really good. I prefer
The series is, yeah.
I don't know if you heard me then, but
Punish is also really, really dope too, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's
all right.
Bad internet.
No, the Punish is a really sort of interesting show as well because they break convention with that character and they make it a more cerebral show than I didn't realize. And I love that character as well. But Daredevil, man, get on Daredevil. It's got great action. It's got great storyline. 3rd season's probably the strongest season out of the 3. And it's really sad they ended it. But anyway. And the last one I'm going to mention is Money Heist. Now, Money Heist is a Spanish. Good show.
Yeah.
Money Heist.
One of the 5.
You've got one, right? It keeps popping up on my Netflix are inceptioning me. It keeps popping up at the top of my Netflix to watch it, and it looks really damn good. Is it subtitles?
It is subtitles, but you can watch it dubbed. I'm a purist. I recommend watching it subtitled because you get a certain level of emotion that you might miss out on if it was dubbed. Because like what tends to happen with like dub shit is that they go over the top. Like the people doing the dubbing tend to go over the top to sort of like fill in the emotion. Whereas if you watch it in its native language and you just read the subtitles, it's not that hard. If you can, afford to if you can get a Netflix subscription, I can assume that you can fucking read.
Yes. And not be on your phone.
And not be on your phone the entire time. Pay attention a little bit. But if you watch it in Spanish, it's you get much more out of it than you would otherwise. So Money Heist, man, dope show. Basically, it's about a dude named the Professor. He hires a bunch of thieves, and what they want to do is they want to essentially print billions of euros worth of money in the mint of Spain. And that's the 1st season. And I think it's got 4 or 5 seasons so far. And it's just it's one of those.
A lot of reading.
Yeah, it's a lot of reading.
A lot of reading.
A lot of time off your phone, mate.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
I'm now a subtitle watcher.
You do.
Okay. I hated it. Used to hate it, but now when I watch anything, it's when my baby's gone to sleep. And I don't have the volume up very loud. And I usually like to pump it so I can hear everything and see everything properly. But I can't do that now. So I have to read just in case I miss anything. Yes. So I'm used to that. Yeah. So I can probably get away with the subtitle thing. I think I can do it.
You would.
Yeah. Do it, man.
Good work.
I can read.
Yeah. We know you can read. But it's a far more enjoyable experience to listen to it. And it's how it was intended to be listened to as opposed to someone just being over the top in the dubs. So, but Money Heist, man. Money Heist.
Awesome.
All get onto it.
That's great. That's a good list. That's a good list to get people started for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got some construction going on behind us, and it's not going to be great for the listeners. So I reckon we might wrap us up.
Yeah.
And
all good, man.
And we're going to touch base with you throughout the season. Well, hopefully some more things coming out, and
I reckon
more reviews off you, man.
100%. I'm looking forward to it, boys.
Perfect.
Look after yourselves.
Thanks, Carlo.
No worries.
Yeah,
no dramas. Catches.
Great chat there, mate, with our resident film critic.
Yep,
Carlo.
Let's get on it. Let's get on some shows.
Yeah,
might go not do
The
work.
Witcher. The Witcher was.
I do need to watch that. My brother's watched it.
That was his number one. Was it Witcher?
He said, "Yeah, that was his number one."
Yeah,
number one on Netflix. All right, we'll go watch that.
Let's
start it now. We're in
and the Invisible
room,
Man.
Let's just turn it on here.
Yeah, he can turn it on. Yeah. And the Invisible Man.
And the Invisible Man.
That was gonna
be scary. $20. I might pass.
Yeah, I might pass on that too. Well, I mean, you're streaming Netflix.
I know. I'm already paying for all
Stan
this.
and Disney.
Like people don't have money coming in. You expect people to pay $20 to watch one movie?
Yeah,
I think we'll pass on that one
well,
hard.
Yeah, I think the days of spending $20 on a movie, like individually, is back in the Blockbuster days. Like you don't need to do that now. You have streaming services.
When were they $20 though? Not for a DVD. $7.50 for a.
I reckon they used to be $20.
You reckon $20 to rent one?
Oh, sorry, to buy.
Yeah, to buy.
Yeah, which is what you.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
right.
you're buying it.
Okay, to buy a DVD, $20.
Yeah,
right.
so JB Hi-Fi buying some new movies cost $30.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but
so I think
it's still got to make some cash.
Exactly.
They do.
So I think it's it's a little bit ridiculous when you got so many streaming services and you're paying $14 a month for 1,000 movies. So
agreed. Get watching, guys. Thanks to Colonial for another
Stay
great
safe,
ep.
guys.
Stay safe. See you in the next one. You.